Welcome to Sunny Stamping Studio, and today I'm just doing a little donut card, and it's really cute. It's very fast and easy. Anybody can do it, and I just thought I'd show you how to do it really fast because videos are kind of fun to look at. It's nicer to see the whole process than part of it. So the donut is fairly basic. It uses just some standard circles with a smaller circle cut out. You do it any size you want, and then there's a couple little extra details added here with a little bit of jelly and some crumbs. Now I know that technically the whole donut shouldn't have jelly. There are some batters you can use to create this look, but I'm going a little bit on my imagination here because I really want the jelly, I really want the whole. Okay, so let's get started. So I have my pieces already cut out. Each of my circles is a 3-inch diameter, about 3 inches. It's maybe 2 7/8 inch diameter, and it's about 7/8 inch hole. This can be just hand drawn out, or just use some of your circle punches to punch out a hole and then trace it around and then cut it out with your X-Acto. Okay, so do one in a brown color. I have creamy caramel here. I know that it's retired now, but if you want, you can use something like a So Saffron and just sponge it with a nice dark brown so it has that golden look, or go with a chocolate donut using chocolate chip. My other color is Pretty in Pink. Okay. And I'm just going to, as you see, I've already sponged my my creamy caramel with a little bit of close to cocoa. Again, just trying a substitute for different browns or yellows. And for my Pretty in Pink, I'm just going to sponge it with a little bit of Melon Mambo, because you got to have a nice little icing. Okay, and I'm just adding that little bit of sponging. Okay, so this is going to be fairly quick. And a little bit in the center for color, because of course it's going dipping down, so you're going to have a bit of a shadow there. And then I'm just going to grab my paper snips and I'm just going to wave my icing. Okay, so very simple, just very randomly going a nice up and down wave. Okay, so I have that done, and then I'm just going to fit it over my donut, and I am going to glue it down with some of my multi-purpose adhesive. Okay, so just kind of scribbling it on. I don't want it too thick, so I don't want it gooping out. Okay, and then I'll just grab this, flip it over, and match my holes up. Okay, so now I've got my little donut done. And now I have two other pieces already cut here, a white and another creamy caramel. I actually just traced them onto a scrap and then set them aside, so I'm going to be putting these ones here because we are going to be using them. And then I'm just going to cut a little bite mark out of my donut. Okay, so I have my little bite mark in my donut, and because I want to add a little bit of extra dimension, I'm going to take this piece of Whisper White and I'm just going to clip off the little ends that I don't need. And I am going to glue this down on top like this, so I'm covering that bite hole and matching up the missing portion. Okay, so I'm just going to scribble a little bit of glue around my bite mark and put this down. You have to excuse the sounds, it's kind of the end of the day and the school buses are coming. And that's probably my daughter right now. Okay, so I have that over there, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to follow my bite marks again, but I'm going to leave like a little bit of a ridge. I want to show a little bit of that white. That's kind of where my filling is going. Okay, so I didn't wait for my glue to dry, so I'm just having to reshift it and then just trim off any white that shows. Okay, so just bring that closer so you can see. Right there I have the little white showing. It's kind of hard to see because of the background, of course. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with my creamy caramel. Just like this. I am going to get rid of any excess that I don't need. and I'm going to glue it down. Okay, and match it up again. Okay, so it's matched up, and I'm just going to squeeze it so it sets a bit there. And then I'm going to cut out the bite marks second time. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 bites. And this is the base of my donut. If you ever kind of take a bite of a donut, you'll notice, and it has filling, you don't always get a straight up and down bite mark. Sometimes you kind of tear it away and you get that little, you can see the bottom piece at an uneven level. So that's what I've kind of created over here, as you can see. So it's a little bit, has a little more dimension to my donut. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Crystal Effects. Now, okay, here's where you can kind of do a couple things. So for the sprinkles, I did my sprinkles first. And I just put little dabs of Crystal Effects and then sprinkled with Dazzling Diamonds. You can by all means use some of the colored glitter. And then once it was stuck on my card with Stampin' Dimensionals, I started with the second part. So I'm just going to grab the Crystal Effects, but we're not going to do this on the card for now. And of course it has to be just kind of gooped at the top, even though I just cleared it right before starting this film. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, so I'm putting a decent kind of amount of the Crystal Effects. I wanted to have that glazed look of jelly. And so I'm just squishing it there. So it has a nice sheen. And then because I wanted to go red, I grab a little pin and I'm going to dip it in a bit of red reinker. And I'm just going to blend it with my needle tip to color my Crystal Effects a nice bright red. Might need a little more there for my jelly filling. Okay, so we got the jelly filling over there, and I'm just going to let that dry and clean off my tip over here. And the next step is just going to be to quickly cut out some little crumbs. So just grabbing a scrap of whatever color you made the donut, you're just going to, like that, roughly cut a couple little crumbs. And you're going to sponge the edges, just holding them in your fingertips, sponge it lightly with the same color ink you sponge your donut. And then when it comes to the jelly spill, now remember I said you got to do the jelly when you're on the card. So over here, once you do that, you're going to spill off, like squish out a little bit of jelly of Crystal Effects onto the paper, color it up the same way, have your crumbs glued around, and you'll have a nice jelly smeared crummy donut for your card front. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. I look forward to seeing you again. And thank you for stamping with me.